here.
Okay.
And I will update on. Okay, yeah, and Ancient has to be pushed, so I will poke him.
hmm Yeah, I
Poke.
forgot to poke him last time I was.
All good. Uh, and all right, and I'll see if Rhapsody needs to get updated here. Da-da-da-da. There's that.
Hi, Rhapsody.
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good,
I'm
good.
excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Super exciting.
Hey, Enid.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
I'm going to push my server really quick. All right, Midjourney version 7 release party is now live. Uh, Join here to watch. All right, I'm just gonna send that out to
Oh,
everybody. There we go. Sweet. Okay. Um. All right. Well, hi everybody. Let's see. Oh wow, we already got 37 people in here. That's awesome. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
40. Oh crap. All right, everyone's coming in. Hi
What are we gonna
everybody.
do?
Yeah, well, I got to turn my camera on. Oh no. Uh,
also was just the Midjourney bot message that arrived on my account, telling me, "Hey, V7 pre-alpha is now live."
yeah. Well, this is gonna be an interesting stream, I will say. I am so curious to see what happens today. I think this is going to be bonkers with everything new that we have to demonstrate. It's kind of one of those questions of like, where do we start? You know what I mean? Like, this is pretty bonkers to start a whole new model and just in general see just how many things how many changes to our workflow we've already run into, because I know that there's a few people here who are excited to get started with their own projects with version 7. So we'll see what happens. At least for me, I just want to show you guys really quickly. Now, first, there's a bunch of new people here, so I want to introduce myself and the people on the stage here. My name is Victor Gnarly. I'm a former visual effects artist with Adult Swim and Robot Chicken and Moral Oral and a bunch of other shows, particularly stop motion shows. And during that time, we I gained a bunch of wonderful experiences and did a bunch of fun things. But I mostly wanted to bring that experience to you guys to be able to make entertainment with you guys today. So when it comes to version 7, the coherency is the main draw for me. Is the fact that we're able to describe every detail, and we'll be able to describe things in whole new ways. But I'm joined on the stage here with Kinky Kong and Rhapsody. Thank you guys.
Howdy.
Thank you guys so much for joining. In fact, Rhapsody is going to be
Hi.
on the stage here. Let's see if it pops up. I only see the join camera things. I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah, I sent you the wrong link. I sent you the wrong link. No.
Panic, panic. But what I've started off here for you guys, while Rhapsody's coming in here, we're going to. I wanted to show you guys what the profiles for the fantasy series have done so far, and it's really, really interesting. We will definitely have to make some changes, but I have the prompt right here for you guys, so I will actually copy the message link here and then paste it for you guys here, and then we'll get into draft mode probably as one of the very first things. So I'm just gonna have you guys jump over to that, and just start iterating off of the profile codes, particularly because we all have our own profiles with version 7. That is a something that you'll learn right away when you start to mess with it. It's going to ask you just immediately rate images and stuff. I highly recommend doing that and making sure that you don't use the skip button as often, especially as often as you used to at version 6. So when it comes to your ratings, just be honest. Be whatever looks the best to you is the right option when it comes to rating images on Midjourney, and you can do that by jumping over to the Midjourney website And then on the left side of your screen, you'll see that there is a personalization button. And just make sure that's on and start rating images. You can rate images by just selecting the profile. And then,
You have to join room camera overlay.
okay. Let's see. All right, let me send it to Reps really quick. Just a second, guys. Grab this and this link and this and this and this. And then Rhapsody should be here any second now. Let's see. There she is. Okay, cool.
Here,
Um,
behind you.
yeah, you're behind me, but let's. I tried to quickly readjust the screen here so that we have as much real estate dedicated to the Midjourney website to show you guys this. But basically, rate your images and start messing with version 7. Getting up to 1,000 images will definitely hone in your profile significantly. Rhapsody, you said how many images have you rated so far?
I have about 1,200. So maybe one word about me. If you see me on here on stage and ask why is this person here, I'm a former Apple creative, teaching people in multimedia stuff for over 15 years with some streaming experience behind myself. And yeah, Victor and we stuck kind of together to build Gnarly Studios, and that's why I'm here.
I love Rhapsody's insight. She definitely drives things in a different way than I do, and that's so exciting because we can all approach version 7, especially in new ways. So whenever I feel like I get stuck, I just go to her, and whenever she gets stuck, she goes to me, and we just kind of bounce off, and it's super, super nice. I really like working with Rhapsody. So, yeah.
It happens. And
Yeah.
about rankings, yeah, I have about 1,200 ratings. And V7, this is really important. I pinged our whole community this morning already about this. V7 profits a lot from a good quality personalization code. And that's, I cannot emphasize it more. Go on there, rank images, try to get to more than 200, maybe do 400 or 600. And try to skip it as least as possible. Like if there's 2 images and you can decide, yeah, I kind of like the left one more than the right one, then pick it. Just if you like don't like both, then skip.
Yeah, absolutely, and you'll notice the benefits with that effort put in, especially if you're trying to do something rather specific in terms of medium, like anime, that kind of thing. Yeah, until there's like Niji7 or there's other tools that let us be able to hone in the art style even more. Ranking is the best way to get the product that you really want to see Midjourney make. Yeah, League of Beagle, do not skip. Okay, all right. Yeah, well, there's so many people here. Thank you all so much for joining. I am so excited to get into should we just get into draft mode? Like, should we just immediately demo this? Because I don't have I don't think I got my audio mic'd in a way that I can get you in here yet. But
I can do that.
Oh, yeah?
But then we lose like our people on screen. Well,
That's
we should
true.
have thought about that.
It's okay. We'll make it work. We'll make this work. So, for those that do not know what draft mode is, it is an exciting new way to interact with Midjourney, and I've been using it to really explore specific characters just by asking it to throw them into to prompts. So let's try this really quick. You find draft mode by going to midjourney.com, and you'll find it on the top here. Before you click it, you want to make sure that you have your personalizations, the settings, the way you want. I want to make sure that I do not have like my fantasy stuff turned on, for example. That actually happened during a demo where I was like, "Why is everything looking golden colored and themed in a way?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Whoops, I left my fantasy theme on." So as long as you just leave it to your profile up here, we're ready to get started. The let's so for me anyway, at least for my OC here, I came up with a prompt just to get things written up here. Let's see. Yeah, right here. I'm gonna open up draft mode. I'm just gonna read off this prompt to start, and then we will throw this character into another scene using draft mode. So we click on draft mode, and then we click on the microphone up here in order to activate the microphone to speak to Midjourney now. So Adult anime antagonist, short black hair with black highlights, spiky hair, sharp eyes, frowning eyebrows, angry expression, head tilted, about to laugh, modern anime style. And the reason I am doing that as I'm redoing that prompt is just so that it's the next one up in my chain for what I can do next here. So let's see. Can you show me a full? Oh, oops. Let's see. All right, microphone.
You deactivated
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you show me a full body of this character?
Also, Victor,
Yeah.
calm down a bit.
No, I'm not gonna calm down.
Damn.
This is too damn exciting. All right, all right, all right. Show
Are
me.
you skipping so many steps?
I mean, there's no steps. You tell you. If do you want to? We'll handle this. We'll probably end up restarting this 3 or 4 times just to get everything covered here. But the all right, all right, all right. Make him more masculine. You notice that Rhapsody and I were able to have a conversation naturally and have it not interrupt this process at all. That's what's so exciting about this is that we can do this in a collaborative way. And the microphone is still on. It's still listening to everything I'm doing. But let's put him in a 1990s marketplace in Tokyo. Can you change the aspect ratio to 3:2? All right. Now, can you put a girl in the background with red wings and white hair and big round glasses?
Me. A little bit.
Make the man lankier, taller, maybe. I'm not actually taller. I just want to see what this does. Oh, creation failed. Okay, let's see. Let's double back then. Can you re-render that? All right. Can you make him less masculine? Let's go in the other direction. Okay.
Now, while you're all seeing this, there's a few things to draft mode that's probably a little bit important to talk about.
Do it.
Like Victor directly jumped into "I'm gonna talk with Midjourney now" and prompting things, but you're not really required. Your prompt bar on top that is next to the draft mode icon is a text input that you can actually use to chat and copy and paste prompts and give it directions and so on as well. And whenever you're talking or you're writing with it, you will see a confirmation directly below the text bar popping up to just give you a hint what it understood and what it's actually doing.
Yeah, you can see I literally just asked to change the aspect ratio to 4:5, and then that little bubble that pops up underneath it is it thinking and going, okay, this is what I'm interpreting your command to be. It's not the literal prompt; it's actually the construction that it's putting together. Like it's amazing. Like, look, we're already much closer in terms of getting the intention that I had here. So let's try this really quick. I want to try one thing in with the microphone here. Can you show me multiple comic panels of this scene?
Also, quickly addressing a question from Jeremy, say, as he said in chat, what happens with his draft pictures after enhanced? All of your draft pictures stay in your library. They never go away. So don't worry about losing any.
And you can just see how quickly we're able to recontextualize all this. It's amazing. Okay, why don't we make this a 1930s film noir instead? Yeah, I like the third one a lot. Um, wow, yeah, that's great. Oh, wow. I love that we can just say like we want characters behind or in front or really give any sort of like scene direction, right? Can you show me a two shot of these characters?
Yeah. And By the way, draft mode doesn't just only mean draft as in quick. I mean, it is quick. It's also running still, I think, at a lower resolution, like a lower quality setting to make it this quick than you would have in normal V7. So that's where the enhance thing comes up. If I move my head to the left here, you see the enhance button there.
Mm.
You can press that to just make a better version of the prompts that you use. You can also just ask it to enhance a specific thing. You can like say, I want the third image to be enhanced, or I want the third image to be upscaled and stuff. So this large language model that is working in the background, understanding your words and your prompting, it's quite capable of a lot of things.
Yeah, I wouldn't let the quality factor be too much of a limiter in terms of your expectations. Like, it's far better to have the control than it is to have the fidelity of that quality, in my opinion. Just because you're able to get you're really able to hone in what is the actual intent of your image, right? Like every little aspect of it can be tweaked in some way. Like, can you make this all full color?
Does draft cost less fast hours? Yes, in general, it will be faster, therefore cost less fast hours. But the problem is you're gonna prompt a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's try this. Can you make this a 4 or 5 page and feature 2 panels? Seeing if it recognizes whether or not I want to do comics or not. It has more trouble with like certain text retention, by the way. So like like when I ask it to do speech bubbles, for example, it struggles a little more. But we're always able to go back to version 6.1 at any point in time. So it's really easy to just in paint changes into this stuff. And yeah, the in terms of what what else we can go from here, I'm so curious to see what you guys do. So we also have VC Create where you guys can share your prompts. We know that with doing this all in real time, it can be especially when you're doing it off the Discord server and doing it on your Midjourney account. Sometimes you want to show something off to everyone here. What you can do is you can hit copy, or sorry, more, and then copy, and then click on job ID right here on the website if you've got a result that you're really happy with. And then we're going to hop ourselves over to VC Create, which is just below the stage here. If I scroll down and look at the Midjourney server list or channel list here, if we scroll all the way down to where you guys are all hanging out with us, just above that you have VC Create and VC Text. VC Text is where we're chatting today, and we're recording everything for YouTube and stuff. So feel free to say hi, chat, if you want. And VC Create is where we're sharing all the prompts and cool version 7 stuff that we end up making here today. So I can see that you guys have already, gotten into my fantasy profiles here. So I'm really curious to dig into that a little later today. But for now, wow, there's so much of it. I mean, I'm not surprised. New model drop. Oh, why is it all Shrek? Let's go down now. I'm gonna go /show, and then I'm
I think the
going.
question is, why hasn't it always been all Shrek?
Right. Yeah, there's that is a very good question. We did Shrek and Warhammer 40K on a stream once, and that was a lot of fun. But let's do /show, and then I'm gonna paste that job ID that I copied from the Midjourney website. And this will allow people to iterate off of whatever you post here. So we now have that up for you guys. You're welcome to mess around with Rhapsody Eye in a 1930s marketplace at night, all in color, fully illustrated. This is nuts. This is just nuts. I'm just so excited to get into this stuff. If you guys have character designs and stuff, we'll probably be pulling it off of VC Create. So if you have found something fun that you want to show off, show it here, and then we'll probably end up using it as we demo some of the other stuff here today. Rhapsody. Let me get. I think I actually have to get you back on screen here really quick with copying that. Or did you leave first? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yep.
There. Okay, yeah, I got to copy the profile here really quick. Let me copy this over really quick. Copy. And then, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have you run a little bit just so that we can Uh, find other things inside of VC Create to jump off of here. So let me just update your code here for streaming. There we go. All right, you should be popping up now. Eventually.
Find
Hopefully, I copied the right thing.
somewhere.
Where did you go? Where is Rhapsody? All
Only
right.
one.
Uh, okay. All right. I'm just gonna keep the tablet open here. It seems like I might have broken one or two things here. All good. All good. We'll just stay on tablet. So
All right.
I'm looking at everything you guys are doing here in VC Create. I'm just gonna copy that over to here really quick. That'll make things, I guess, a little easier. VC Create copy and tablet, and then I'll paste that in here. Sorry guys, a little bit of technical issue there. Where? Why is that not showing up for me? There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what I did. I broke something good. My bad. I gotta grab. I gotta grab the right one. My fault, guys. Sorry. There it
All good.
is.
While you're doing this, let's talk a little bit about V7.
Yeah.
So V7 is a new model, as you all know, and has been in development for a very, very long time. And the draft mode you saw right now is just one of the small features that are still planned for V7. And it's already an amazing thing, but V7 can do a lot of things that V6 couldn't. And it has way better prompt accuracy, for example. So you can go really into detail and describe about almost anything you want in the scenes, and it will understand you way, way, way better. This also means that you better get good prompts. In comparison to version 6, when you guys start prompting there, you almost need to get more detailed. You have the ability to describe exactly where your characters are, how they look, what faces do they make, how do they interact with other stuff on the screen. And what I found is that these very short prompts that we have been used to in version 6 and also version 5, they tend to fall off a little bit because V7 has a very strong opinion on where to place or display things. And if you want to break out of this, you have to be more detailed in your descriptions. And that's why draft mode in the end is also a great tool, because then you don't have to type like enormously long prompts down. You can just speak with it and get those in the editor.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
just
see
yeah,
people already going ham there.
yeah, very much so, and especially when it comes to like I'm really digging some of the fantasy stuff you guys are doing there, and I'm gonna try my best not to gawk over all of it, but the sense of depth and scale in version 7 is what's so exciting to me when it comes to the results that we're getting. Like there's no murkiness as we look deeper and deeper into the distance. And sometimes we ran into that issue with version 6, especially when we start, really going ham on certain parameters and stuff. So this is just, it's a whole new ball game, guys. I'm excited to keep exploring this with you guys. So let's see. In terms of chat here, I see I'm I am being asked to unlock my V7 profile, so I need to do a bunch of ratings before I get access. Yes. Version 7 is very, very reliant on your own personal tastes in the images. So I highly recommend just taking your time and making sure that you pick images that you like, and try not to skip. Like try to pick one or the other in order to get good results. And that's really all the advice that I have when it comes to ratings. The profiles and mood boards are something that I have honestly not been able to dip a ton of time into, because I've been relying on mood boards I've used before, as opposed to making a new mood board. But we've made all sorts of mood boards on this stream, and we'll be exploring a couple of them here today, as well as just how to use them. So let me just demo that really quick here. So I'm going to turn off VC Create for now. And I'm just going to show you guys that if we jump over to personalize here, you can see that I have a bunch of mood boards that I've made. Some of them for my comic series, some of them for my friends. It's really just a matter of trying to get Midjourney to lean in a certain direction stylistically or aesthetically or whatever kind of vision that we have. I tried to create mood boards around them. So, like for example, I have a mood board specifically for the show Bobo Bo Bobo Bo. And that is a really fun mood board to mess with. It creates like really high dynamic, like like these muted colors that just pop with the strong backgrounds. It's just so much fun inside of this prompt. So I'll be sure to also include some of my favorite prompts for you guys to mess with here. But if we now go back and we go to create, we can notice here on the top, if we hit the personalization button, we actually get all of our profiles here that we can just turn on and off as we need. Just note that if there is a profile inside of your prompt, it will overwrite whatever's written in here. So if, say, I pull up a prompt from the fantasy stuff and then I try to make a new prompt to appear by selecting the other ones, whatever's inside the prompt will overwrite that. So we currently have this one here, so I'm just going to... let's see here. I'll start off with a fresh one here. So we can hop in, and I am going to do. Let's see here. Yeah, the Crystal Chasm, which is one that we built, which was all just a dark dungeon environment that we needed for like both D&D campaigns and our fantasy series. So now if I write that. This let's do it in draft mode. Let's write in draft mode this time, just so that we can show that off too. I want to see a let's say that this is two men spelunking in a deep cavern, and let's say that this is in I'm trying to think of what sort of art style, what different. Let's do it in a. I'm not really going to lean towards necessarily like fine arts, right? That's really not my specialty. But let's just say that it's a live action film, and we'll set the aspect ratio to 16:9, and then I got to make sure I spell spelunking correctly. It would correct it anyway. It also accepts multiple languages too. So at least in draft mode, we're going to see. That it embellished a little bit on the text that I have written here. It's added film style and deep cavern. So I'm curious if we keep going down this route, what sort of recommendations it's going to make. But let's see if I now, because we got the wide caverns that's being influenced by the mood board, which is just, if we take a look at what that mood board actually looks like. Here, where is it? Crystal Cavern. There it is. Crystal Chasm. You can see that it's only 3 images. We have basically this very purple and deep, deep blues and greens that really dominate the results that we get off of this mood board. And it's been really good for doing things like underground, combat and dungeon stuff. So that's really what we're leaning towards. And it's partially by Fungi Mancer, who's one of our users here. So he's definitely influenced and brought a lot of this to the table when it came to this style specifically. But Legal Beagle generated this image here, and then we reiterated off of that to create the other ones to design this mood board. But what we can see here is that we have under the draft mode here, we have the ability to enhance it. We could rerun it, all that kind of stuff. Let's say that can you show me them uncovering gold inside the cavern? Add a panel of a pickaxe hitting the rock. All right, so it rewrote that. That's interesting. So if we say that let's go back to the 2 men, but have one of them with a pickaxe and they're hitting the rock.
You can also ask it to just combine the last two prompts and it will do that because it has quite a memory of what you asked before.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've gone back 5 to 6 prompts before. Like it's really interesting. Yeah, look at that. They are certainly smacking that rock with pickaxe. Um, let's let's do a let's see. How can we reiterate this a little farther here? Um, can you show me in this same scene? Can you show me a crystal creature awakening from the rock?
Where do all the mood boards live? Sorry, I've only attended this once before months ago, asks Cosmic Mama. If you go to the website and press personalize on your menu, there you can see all the mood boards that you created, and you also can create new ones. And maybe one word about mood boards transferring over from V6. There is a degradation of V6 codes that go into V7. And it's slightly noticeable. So reusing them might not give you the most best result that V7 can give you.
Right.
And I have a neat little trick how to rebuild a few mood boards. Your best friend will be the Explorer page. If you want to create a mood board, do it actually mood board style. So when we created mood boards in like an artistic environment to, I don't know, generates or design stuff, design spaceships, design interior designs, and so on. You would go on the internet and just search for images that all fit like the vision to get an idea of what should the colors be, how should it be arranged, and so on. And it's the same idea with mood boards. So you can go to the Explorer page, search all the V7 images, and take the ones you like and put those together into your mood board. And now you have a mood board that is based on V7 images without having to generate 1,000 first. Of course, you can start generating without personalization and take images you like, but you can also riff off of all the work that others have been doing and this way be way, way quicker in designing your mood board.
Oh, look what Bert here did with his Oni character. This one's a pretty faithful recreation of it. That's pretty awesome. And that is also within a couple different profiles. But I will be excited to recreate the mood boards as Rhapsody's describing, so that we get that V7 clarity all the way through for sure. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to start digging into this stuff with you guys, and so we'll be finding all sorts of neat tricks here on the stream today. But I wait, what did you say here? Mood and then board inside of a friendship locket. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty fun that it worked too. Like at least partially worked on these two here. That's awesome. I'm curious at this point if I know drop VC create. We could see here that when it came to the crystal creature coming out of the water or out of the cavern there, look at that. That's awesome. Let's say this. Can you enhance the fourth image? And keep in mind, guys,
It has really nice lighting.
if I make mistakes and stuff, it to be expected. This is all new for a lot of us, so we'll see what ends up coming up here.
Composter is asking me, if you don't mind, I didn't quite understand the old codes for moodboard things. If I made a new profile with the same images, will that work better for V7? No, not specifically, but you have to think about how mood boards work. Like, if you put images into a mood board, Midjourney analyzes those images and tries to find a data set or prioritize data values in it that represent the images you inputted. So now you have a bunch of version 6 created images that have all the flaws and all the problems that version 6 had, and you're feeding version 7 with this information. What you will get is a more V6 style output because you told it to, hey, I like this version 6 style of doing images. And that's why the old mood boards that you maybe created from your own works with Midjourney will degrade your output in version 7 a little bit.
Yeah, and it really just comes down to the fact that there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, especially with image interrogation, that we don't even really recognize that are like factors like how the light shines through on certain depth, like basically the translucency of things, like how to consider those rules and whatnot. It's all just boils down to math when it comes to, at the end of the day, is just the math of how lines separate and whatnot. So I'm so fascinated to see the at least from you guys, how far we can push the context awareness, like how much detail can we put in this. Because like it's one thing again to do shorter prompts like a unicorn running on a prairie, right? But if we then start to embellish on this significantly, we will be able to see almost all those details preserved. So we could say that there is a pirate riding a unicorn running on a prairie with an alien spaceship saucer chasing them from behind with a tractor beam. Let's see what that does, and kind of just reiterate off of each other's stuff. And especially if you have, these like profiles that are like, I mean, guys, it's just looking so good what we can do already, and we don't even have all the tools that we had before. So I'm just excited for the future here. I can't see the screen share. Oh, you can see it. You just have to either restart Discord or you go to the VC create here. I'll just show you. You just come on down to the stage here, and then you click on my icon in the top left corner. You'll be able to find me there. But look at this. Look at this. Okay. Not only did we have the pirate riding a unicorn, the alien, every one of those details I asked for is fully represented in this result. Like, isn't that nuts? Where before we were like, okay, I got like a third of the things I asked for. Let me in paint the rest of them and see if there's enough room for them to fit. Now it's just everything's recontextualized in a way that's so interesting to me. So it's like we can come into here and be like, no, actually, it's George Washington, and let's do that. There we go. And if we did this in draft mode, it would probably embellish on features of George Washington as we were doing this, as I made that correction. So the ability to get the assistance in making really long prompts has actually been such a blessing for me, because I do lean a lot into like the more like exploratory version of or method of finding stories inside of Midjourney. So being able to see this is also kind of a changing of my own methodology as well. So we'll see what we end up coming. But look at this. The art style also leans more into that American independence era of just it's patriotic art, and it's so cool that it's able to interpret that and put that in there. It's so cool. Let's see here. There's a question for you, Rhapsody, from Cosmic Mama. Did you mention how to search version 7 pics in Explorer?
Yeah, there is no real version, no real way to do that right now. You just search for the terms you like, open the images, and have a look if there is a V7 thing to them. But it can, like, the best thing you can do is search for top day at the moment, because, I mean, most of them from today are probably version 7. And this page will get flooded with version 7 images, all in Explorer.
And we're gonna help that today. It's pretty common for the stuff that we make to end up on the top page. I've seen that more than a couple times.
Yeah. There's also another question. Is there a way to recreate my mood board vibe from version 6, 6.1 EG6, and version 7? It feels off. Yeah, there actually is. Like, as I said, if you use the mood boards from version 6, you're gonna get a degradation in version 7, but you can add up to like 20 images as style references. And those don't degrade your general V7 performance. So you can just go into the mood boards and use these images in there as style references. And then you are able to generate in the same style, but with all of the positive sides that version 7 has.
Absolutely, yeah. So like if we go into here with this crystal chasm prompt here, and I include a style reference, we'd have to let's bounce ourselves out of draft mode, and I'm going to include a picture from our server here. So let me open up the. I'll just copy a link here really quick to it. Da-da-da-da. So on our server, we have a character portal where you guys are more than welcome to submit your characters. I'm just going to copy a link so I can open it here. Okay. Oh, okay. It's going to make me log in really quick, guys. Sorry. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I have to very consciously make sure I do not spell out my password as I write it, because I have that. I'm one of those guys, Like,
Banana Man 257 exclamation mark.
let's grab this here. So if we take a look here, we have the character portal in the Gnarly Studio server where you guys are more than welcome to grab any one of these characters, and they're all V6.1 characters. But I wanted to mostly show a character from the chasm here, so we get some alignment to the aesthetics that we're doing here. So let's see here. You can see all the enormous characters you guys have been splitting here, but I want to show off Lilla today. Lilla is made by a Midjourney user named Alistair, and what we can essentially do is include her images as a mood board and be able to basically lean the results towards this character. But we're going to start with a style reference just to see what this will do for us. And she's included an image of her home, as well as her hunting for crystals underneath the city of Phantasma in our little fantasy story. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up these images, and I'm going to include her environment. Let's do this one too. Yeah, I'm going to avoid the ones that are outside, like during the day, just so we get the aesthetic here. But I want to include at least 2 or 3 images just to see what this does. So we have these images here. I'm going to now bring us to back over to midjourney.com. And then I am going to now take these images and copy them into the prompt bar at the top of Midjourney here. As soon as I paste it, it's a little different than before. Now we have a bar for style reference and a bar for image prompts. So I'm first just going to copy all these images over to there, like so. I've copied all 4 images, and by default, they'll be image prompts. We can now slide them over to style reference, just drag and drop them like this. And that will let us be able to basically just say, I want to be inspired by the art style depicted here. And we do have some profile codes attached to this as well. I'm curious if we just turn those off for now and just prompt with this. But if you notice, I have to make sure that my profile doesn't have anything but that chasm on, because otherwise whatever's written in here, whatever profile that's written here will end up as the result. So I'm just going to hit enter on this, and we'll see just how much influence that has on it. And sometimes, like back in version 6, there was a good chance that that Lilla would show up in the results by using it either as a style reference or a mood board. So it is very fascinating what you can do with but we also have to redefine what those tools are. Because I had very particular use cases for style reference, particularly for creating like comic panels. But now we're basically just deep diving into a whole new direction with this stuff. So I am seeing a lot of Spaceball memes in the chat for some reason. Why? I'll figure that out a little later, but that's funny. But let's take a look at what we get here. Now that we are using this as a style reference, we could see that we have a the crystals almost look exactly like the crystals that are inside the style reference now, as opposed to being this more like airy, open purple color that's in all the results. Because we use the style reference, look at the diversity of the lighting, especially that we get off of that. It's just so fascinating to use this in a way that now, if we had a text only description of Lila, we can then start to use draft mode to throw her into these images too. So but I do know that there is a limitation in terms of using draft mode with style references. So like if I tried to say if I turn on draft mode here and then say with the start microphone, oh, real-time API not connected. Okay, so we got a little bug here. Let's see. Let me refresh my browser. So I believe draft mode has issues when it comes to translating going from an image that has style references to making a traditional prompt with draft mode. So I'm curious. I'm just going to run it here for you guys to see what this does. All right, put a girl with brunette hair and a red scarf into the cave. And you can see that the style references were not transferred over. It did keep the crystal chasm profile because that is in the bar up here, but it is not preserving those style references. So what I can do is I can just hit use on this prompt that came up, and then I can just click them to bring them back into the prompt, but it will only work outside of draft mode. So we just hit enter, we just click on all those style references again, and then hit enter with this new prompt that was created in draft mode. You can use the lock to lock the style images. Okay, we'll try that really quick. So if I hit use on here, and then I hit the lock button on the right here, will that preserve the results? Yeah, see, the lock button doesn't show up inside of draft mode. It's just the text that we have. So, but if you notice that when we did a style reference, edit, like we just reran that prompt, but with the style reference, look at how good that looks. Like in terms of getting us this character, we're able to do so much with just style references. So mess around with the tools, but make sure that you don't have this this expectation for it to perform like it did back in version 6.1. I feel like this was something that happened before too, when version 6 came out too, that it's such a new thing to learn that some people will get frustrated. They will even revert back to 6.1 for a while, just to be able to make things the way that they're used to. But I highly recommend just doing your best to come into this with a blank slate and try to relearn these tools, relearn how style reference has changed, and also just how much image prompting has improved too. So for those that are new to Midjourney, image prompting, at least in my experience, has been mostly for preserving the composition of an image. So if your image has a lot of white space around a character, if you use it as an image prompt, it's going to preserve that white surrounding space or blank page around the character. If you use it as a style reference, it'll more likely just copy the line weight and the color palette and certain choices that are inside of the image, as opposed to being so you could basically choose it as as image prompting is the objective way to reference an image, and style reference is the subjective way to reference an image. That might be just the simplest way to explain it right now. But that is my explanation. It is not the official. There's going to be all sorts of different use cases out there. So I'm wondering from you guys now, what sort of direction you all want to go for this stream, because it is an exploratory thing. I lean on animation and anime and all sorts of cartooning stuff because of my job, but that is not what Midjourney is limited to. So at all actually. Like if I basically say inside of draft mode here, we're gonna get rid of everything. We're gonna start off with a whole I'm gonna even turn off my personalization for this one. I'm going to turn it off. And the reason why is
Before
because,
you
yeah,
get too deep, I
Yeah.
have a question.
yeah.
So I'm not really sure what Lolosun is getting at. Somebody in the chat said that they were trying to watch this on YouTube as private, and I said I don't think we're on YouTube right now.
No, there is no live transmission to YouTube at this moment.
I don't
That's
think. Is
just
there any
where
live
we.
transmission anywhere besides here?
I think twitch.midjourney.com.
Okay.
Twitch.tv/midjourney. I think we're broadcasting out to there. I think so. Um,
Okay.
we would need Ancient to confirm it, but I am streaming at least to the server that is doing it. So at the very least, everything is backed up and posted to YouTube eventually. This stream will definitely go up faster than the other streams, but I am, yeah, I don't think we're live anywhere else except there, if there at all. If we could do realistic for a moment, just to see how much improvement. Yes, exactly. That's what I was mostly getting at. Is that I'm going to be leaning on animation and stuff because of what I do, but we need to break out of that. We need to find something. We need to do some live action stuff here. So I have an idea. I have an idea.
Yeah. I also have a proposal.
Okay.
And some ideas. So this is the version 7 release party, basically, because we happened to stream today on the day it got released. So I'm very happy to see everybody here. We have some experience in prompting with version 7 for quite some time because we have been testing it, of course, and been preparing for this occasion here. I would say we can do a quick question round in between where you guys can just throw all the questions that you have at us and we go a while for them and maybe also decide then on what to do. I also try, by the way, in the background right now, that's why I'm frozen here and then, to be able to take over the screen, and then we can do multi-draft mode prompting later in the stream. And I also have a few amazing tips and tricks for using draft mode that will blow your mind. So that's what I'm getting up in the background.
Awesome, yeah, and I'll get started on something then, and then when you're ready to take over, right? We'll just
Yep.
swip things over. I do
Yep.
I do have a prompt that that I think would be kind of fun for us to get into that gets into live action stuff. So I'm gonna open up draft mode and turn on the mic here in order to get started. Let's do create and then mic. All right, show me a 1980s schlock action film. Rhapsody hates this prompt. I love it. We'll see what it does.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. Can you show me a screenshot from this film? Actually, I'm gonna zoom in for you guys too a little bit. Can you make the aspect ratio 4:3 and have it only be one still? Okay, okay. Make it look less like a poster and more like a single frame from the film. Can you mute the colors significantly? Add some film grain. Okay, okay. All right. So let's have let's cast somebody into this film. Okay. Let's have David Hasselhoff in there. Oh, okay. There we go. We got our first warning. It's saying I'm not able to include individuals into there. There's yeah. Oh no, he hassled the Hoff. Right. Exactly. I hit the I it definitely stopped me from using that. That's interesting. Can you add someone that looks like David Hasselhoff? I'm just curious if I could push this at all. Sorry if I'm testing things that I shouldn't be. Okay, there you go. All right. Yep, there we go. Okay, that worked. All right. Now, have him driving an all black car. Move fast, break things. Yeah, exactly. Make sure it looks like Kit on the dashboard, where there's an electronic thing that goes back and forth. See, I'm being completely like ambiguous too, like an electronic thing bouncing back and forth. That doesn't, but it understood what I was asking for. That's amazing. Can we enhance the second image? It's looking like Patrick Swayze. Yeah. Actually, can you put Leslie Nielsen in there instead, or at least someone that looks like him? Yeah. All right. That's it. Certainly looks a lot like him, and in certain angles, anyway. Um. Okay. All right. All right. Let's actually set this during the day. All right. Now make him jumping a ravine in the car. I'm like basically randomly thinking of a bunch of random '80s films, '70s and '80s films, in order to combine all this together. And I could just keep talking casually throughout all this. It probably it let's see if it recognizes this so far.
I think I've set up and this should work.
Hmm. What?
I think I've set up. I can take
Okay.
over your screen now.
But look at this. Look at it. Look at this. Yes. Yes. That's what I want to see. That's what I wanted to. I didn't expect him surfing on top of the car, but I definitely got. Yes. Yes. I'm just so excited about draft mode, guys. It does so much cool stuff, and I am gonna let Rhapsody take over here in just a second. I do want to show one more thing though. As I'm naturally talking, the microphone has been on the entire time, so it's not a problem to just casually hang out and be in multiplayer mode, which is I think Rhapsody is going to demo up next. The main thing though is actually I want to see a poster of this moment with text on the top that says "Welcome back to the '80s." Oh, all right, real time API didn't connect. Whoops. So that we got a little failure there. Let's turn the mic back on. Okay, let me refresh. All right, make that scene into a poster, like maybe 4:5 aspect ratio, for a 1980s film with the text on top that says "Welcome back to the '80s." Yeah, and it probably didn't. It probably didn't even reference the previous prompt because I had to refresh the browser there. I would like if there's anyone that can answer that, if I have to refresh the browser, if it will continue the previous prompt or not. I
It
don't.
won't.
Yeah, I didn't think it will. So that was a
No,
good.
the moment like there is a hidden text log that's keeping all the prompts and everything that is said in memory, but it's on the page. So the moment you reload, you basically establish a new connection and the history is lost.
Okay, that's good to know though.
But what you can do, copy the prompt from down below, just click on it
Yeah.
and post it into the draft bar on top and just send it again. And now you start with the same prompt again.
Yeah, exactly. And this is actually how I was able to get Victor earlier as well, like just by coming that's what I did at the very start of this stream, where Rhapsody's like, "You're going too fast." It was because I immediately went back to a previous prompt that I had and just re-rolled it so that I could have it at the top of my bar here, in order to start draft mode. So and the entire time, again, this is speaking. It's live reiterating off of what I'm asking it to do. So why don't you take both of these last two prompts, combine them together, and give me that poster? You forgot to make it 4:5 aspect ratio. Okay. Yeah, it works. It works. Awesome, guys. Rhapsody, you ready to take over?
Oh, we can try. We can try.
We can
We'll
try. We
press a
can try.
button and we will see what happens. I hope this works. I should probably move Discord away for a second.
Right? Isn't this awesome, guys? It really does some really cool stuff when it comes to collaborating, and yeah, I don't. I'm sure that yeah, that Rhapsody's got some fun things lined up when it comes to particularly languages and all sorts of other stuff that version 7 is really good at. So I am so fascinated with where you guys are going to end up going with this, because draft mode is such a natural way for me to work with Midjourney now, that like I feel like I can take any one of these results and reiterate them even back in version 6.1 if I like certain ways that characters, you know, came up, or I wanted to use character referencing again. It's easy. I could just bring it into the editor and start in painting with older versions. You know, let's see. Um, you had a question here from Lowell Soon. Does the whole conversation
Yeah.
is recorded in these shadow pages, or is only MJ understood to use as prompt inputs?
I
I
will show you that in a second.
Okay, yeah,
If
I
this
wasn't sure.
works.
Yeah, I wasn't really
Yeah.
too sure about audio logs or nothing like that.
Yeah. Let me. Let's try multiplayer. I'm gonna press this button. Your chat is gonna disappear. I'm sorry, guys, but I hope this works.
Let's see,
Ooh.
explosion. Yeah.
Explosion, and we're here and we're seeing stuff, right? And I can scroll and everything is fine. I'll zoom a little bit more in so that you guys can see more stuff. This is working, and now we're gonna start
Woohoo.
draft mode, and we're gonna start this. And now, please prompt something, Victor.
You want me to prompt something? Wait, it's like, oh, am I actually talking? Okay, wow, it actually works across. Okay, let's do a wow. Okay, I'm having to think on the spot here. Okay, why don't we do a children's book from the '60s?
Nice. Okay, so that works.
Sweet. This is multiplayer
Amazing.
mode. Yep.
Yeah, this is multiplayer mode, and this is something I personally have been excited for to a level that is unimaginable. When I saw the first demo internally of this, like that, it just blew my mind. It was so crazy to me, because multiplayer means we can sit around and just talk and have images of the things that we explore or tell, the stories that we want to tell, appear in front of us. I'm just talking here right now, and Midjourney is listening to all of this. Is it actually gonna prompt something? Can you prompt
No.
something for me from all of that, what I just said? Ooh.
Yeah, and if she didn't ask that command, right, then it wouldn't have done anything at all. It literally listens like it's been ordered to do something. So like like as I'm talking here, you know, it's like, all right, let's actually let's zoom in on one of these people.
By the way, I find it really exciting that I can just talk a bit and describe some images of my mind, and boom, there is an image of what I just talked about, and it's in my style. As you may notice, everything with my profile code, I'm gonna send it to you guys here in a second in VC Create. Almost everything in my profile code turns anime. It's a random coincidence. I didn't select images for it, which is something you shouldn't do in version 7. It just happens to be that I like anime and drawn stuff and all of that. So that's why my profile code is turning everything anime. But I have been playing with this a lot. I want to show you guys a few things.
We definitely got to do one where you prompt in German and then I prompt in English and we just go back and forth.
Oh, we can do that, yeah. Maybe let's start with this. So somebody wrote, I did a little test today, if everything works. Josh C said, Rhapsody, when you were playing with it earlier today, I was so exciting to watch so many people being able to interact with MJ at the same time. We were sitting in a room on here on the MJ server, prompting with I think 10 people at the same time, just throwing in ideas. And I kind of would also like to do this today with some of you guys from the audience. I think we can get them on stage and just have everybody interact and build a story together. Victor, is it okay if I show a few tricks?
Oh, please go ahead.
All right, then I will start with my favorite trick, and I think all of you guys will absolutely love it. Midjourney, please oh, I lost the input here for a second. So let's start with a new thing. Please generate a blank slate. Blank canvas, nothing else. Oh, did I lose connection? Sometimes that happens. Generate the image.
Yeah, and there is
Okay,
there
there
is
it
a there
comes.
is a moment of pause that I do recommend giving it in general, especially if everyone's kind of anticipating an image to come, right? I imagine that I'm trying to imagine people like playing D&D and getting a little drunk and just being impatient, causing all sorts of snafus when people start yelling out random things. Like when my partner messed with this for the first time, the very first thing she did was try to interrupt what I'm saying in order to have me say something else than I intended it to say. you know?
Okay, so let's start. Midjourney, I will describe a character to you. Her name is Ryo. She is a little anime girl with long white hair, blue eyes, round black glasses, a few feathers in the hair, and she's wearing a red kimono, blue shirt, black baggy pants, and sandals. Then there's a second character. His name is Mark. He is a normal office worker dude. He has square glasses, is wearing a white shirt, blue jeans, and black shoes. And then there's a third character who is an elf. She's an elf, a very beautiful elf in a blue dress, and she's a mage with a big and broad witch hat and stunning green eyes. And we name her Sarah. So you now see we got 3 characters here. And the amazing thing is, Midjourney remembers their names. So now I can say, put Sarah and Ryo in an image. Ryo should be on the right side and Sarah should be on the left side. Sarah is very surprised and Ryo is angry with the hands up in the air and screaming. They are on an anime town square of a fantasy city. Okay, didn't really understand me here. I meant Sarah on the left and Ryo on the right. Okay, maybe it's caught up with this. Let's do Ryo. Oh, it's actually this worked way better before. Maybe I was too loud. Okay, new character Ryo. Ryo. Long white hair, red kimono, black baggy pants, stunning blue eyes, round black glasses. Very young anime girl. With the name and my spelling, it's a bit difficult, but it's getting the right character. Now I want Sarah and Ryo on the same image. Boom, here they are.
It's
I want them
amazing.
to be arguing with each other. Creation fail. Okay, please try it again. I It is so amazing, is Josh C saying. Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. Oh, there we have them arguing with
Awesome.
each other. Now I want this image to be zoomed out. I want to see the fantasy town square behind them. They should both have the hands up in the air and casting magic spells, creating chaos all around them. Please try it again.
It is pretty incredible how far back you can go in terms of understanding context.
Yeah, it is. In this image, you kind of confused the people and they are mixing and matching with each other. What I want you to do is to take the individual prompts from this individual people and be very specific about who they are, and where they are placed in the image. And now, as you can see here, it's doing Sarah on the left, blue dress, na 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 na. Ryo on the right, long white hair, stunning blue eyes, round black glasses. And this is separating them. And now we see them where they are located.
Incredible.
And this kind of conversation that you can have with Midjourney creating these prompts is important. And it's also teaching you something about how to prompt with V7. This separation of information is important to keep details attached to objects or people in the location that you want them to be. You want to make these separations. You do not want to do a bunch of words that all kind of culminate together. No, you want to really separate your information out and describe exactly how it's attached to each other. And this just works. We can continue with this now. Please make this an establishing shot of an anime movie. I want to see the whole town square. I want to be in a bird's eye view, seeing how both of them are about to start a fight. And there should be quite some distance between them.
Yeah, and
So while this is prompting, yeah.
I was just going to add that to reference what Lolo Soon is saying there. You can just prompt in French. You can just prompt in your native language with version 7.
You can not only just prompt in your native language, you can also say, please translate the prompt into French. And generate an image.
Does it work by turning on and off the mic like that?
It should. Like, at least I hope so.
But look at the image it did.
I didn't have any problems before. Okay, maybe we'll try again. Yeah, translate this to French. Oh yeah, there it is.
There it is. It figured it out.
And I can also just switch zu einer komplett anderen Sprache, wie zum Beispiel Deutsch or German, as you might have it, mid-sentence. Und das wird mich immer noch 100%ig verstehen. And it will totally understand me. So you can even have different people with different dialects prompting in different languages. And it's working. Josh C is writing, for example, in the group earlier today, Rhapsody told it to only generate when someone said generate the image, so pausing in speech didn't matter. Yes, that's another great thing for going into multiplayer. I will just tell it that right now. Midjourney, please only generate an image when somebody says generate the image. Now me and Victor can chat all day long. Can talk about how Ryo and Zara are going shopping and, I don't know, buying magical potions, and nothing will happen until I say, generate the image. And then it's thinking, huh? come on, don't let me hanging here. I tried this 10 times.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things too where like because we're talking and I can see that microphone bouncing around, right? I think that has an effect on it.
It does. It waits for an input to stop. Let's do something together, Victor, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to reload the page and reset everything.
Yeah.
Now we're going into draft mode. Hi, Midjourney. Please only generate images when somebody says generate the image. My character is Ryo, a little anime girl with long white hair, bright blue eyes, a black round glasses, a red kimono, and black baggy pants, wearing sandals.
And my character is Victor, who okay, let's wait for it to generate here. All right. My character is named Victor, and he wears all black, has black spiky hair with black highlights, and has strong, angry expression facial features.
Generate the image.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that you added that rule. Can you bring both of these characters
Now.
into the same scene?
Come on, chat, give us an environment. Both characters should be placed into a magical bubblegum factory. Please generate the image. All right, Midjourney. When we are using our character names, you need to put their prompts and descriptions into the image and also be very exact where these characters are and separate their descriptions out from each other. Please generate the image again.
All right.
Ryo is trying to eat all the cotton candy. What's your character doing?
Victor is attempting to stop Rio from eating all the bubblegum. Generate this image. Let's see what it do.
And Jeremy, the memory is quite long. I don't know how long exactly, but it's long enough.
Can you make this out of a gritty black ink manga style instead? Generate this image. It's one of my favorite prompts. Is gritty black ink and manga.
I think my global profile might be.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely influence. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Your global profiles that it's turned on. You're right. Let's see here. If we say like this is a slice of life anime, made in the early 2000s, can you generate that?
Generate the image.
Yeah, I didn't say it verbally exact. Sorry.
Exactly, and that's a great thing. But it's thinking. That's one downside of it still. I think that we cannot really see what is happening. or if something is happening.
I would like a thinking icon, something that spins around. Something that tells me,
Yeah, or
oh,
just a glowing bar. Like the bottom bar of this is just glowing up and going right, left, boom. That would be so cool.
here. Let me ask this then. Can you actually put these two characters on a sailboat? Generate this image. I want you guys to imagine this is a D&D campaign, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
we are actively playing a game, and we want to be able to visualize what's happening in the game in real time. You know, being able to do that with this is just ridiculous now because it'll just casually listen to the game that we're playing. So the DM can be describing the scene, and then we ask it to generate that scene, and then go from there. In terms of all the interactions the characters would have, as long as we keep that chain going, the potential is just enormous, guys. Yeah, it's like, can we zoom out of this moment and show a choppy ocean sea? Generate this image. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
Midjourney, please change the keyword to generating this image to execute. So whenever somebody says execute, make the image. Also, please replace the characters in this boat image that you just generated with the characters we described before. Execute.
nice.
We need this to be a zoomed out establishing shot from far, far away.
Yeah, make sure
Execute.
make sure the ocean's really choppy too.
Okay, now we're really, really far out. But look, this is amazing. And now imagine the future of this feature. If you think it's a little thing and you won't use it much, imagine everybody can join the same voice call and has a predefined character reference for their character. That's what I saw immediately.
hmm
And then you can just say, I do this and that. And you get images.
Can you show Victor rocking the boat? Execute. It's so cool to be able to just give it live commands like we're a programmer. Like
Yeah.
you forgot Rio there in the image though. Make sure that she's there as well. Execute.
How long does the memory last? At least a few generations, like 50 or so. I don't know where it stops.
Look at that. Isn't that incredible? Okay. So we've been playing a lot of Catan and stuff over on our server every Thursday, and I think that we might have to change the date. We'll see. We'll see. We won't talk about that much, but it is funny to do like game night stuff and be able to like do live interactions. We had all sorts of people generating what was happening in our game at the same time, so this has a lot of potential for doing that too. Actually, can we generate a new image featuring these two characters playing Catan? Execute.
Lolo soon, the word you just wrote there has a very specific purpose in draft mode. Okay, Midjourney, please enhance image 3. Execute. Not sure if it's doing it. looks like it's doing it. It's definitely taking a bit longer. So there is this word that I won't say again because it will do stuff, which is basically taking the quality setting of this and upping it a bit and just making a better version. So if I just click this here, yeah, this is the better version. As you can see, the button is gone. So it's doing that. And it can mingle around with different images. So I can say, from the third row, please upscale the second image.
Execute.
Mostly does it. Sometimes maybe I shouldn't have said row because it doesn't really understand rows.
I do want to mention Noctilucent saying they just really wanted to say that they're enjoying this. Thank you so much for being here. And this is so much fun to be able to make things with you guys in a whole new way today. I know that we're digging real deep into our characters here. We wanna be able to use your all's characters too. So inside of the
Yes.
chat, be sure to and I'm just going to bounce real quick out of here just to show the chat here that the main thing, guys, is that this is a little bit of a different stream than normal, but everything that you guys write inside of VC text shows up on on our computer here, so we can actively be chatting, hanging out with you, and you'll find that just above the on the Midjourney server here, just above the stage, you'll find VC Create and VC Text. VC Create is where we're going to ask you guys to share your prompts, and there is so many that we haven't even gotten into yet because we've been demoing draft mode here. We'll get into this here shortly, but be sure to send over your characters either in VC Create or VC Text, and we might iterate on them in draft mode and try to bring them into our stories in real time. So check out all this cool stuff that you guys have been doing. Oh my god. I am so excited to dig through this and see all the cool, especially ones that really push the boundaries of like trying to tell stories within a single prompt, right? Like whether it be multi-panels or iterating through time. Like I see Lola Soon just shared this comic here. That's awesome. That is just, it's so cool what you can do. CREF will it's something new that is coming. Is it called Omni Reference or is it Object Reference? I forgot the name of.
It's the name until now was Omni Reference because it's, I think, supposed to do more than just objects. But as all things in development go, and as Midjourney goes along, it might get another name down the line. We will see.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm gonna pop ourselves back over to Rhapsody's screen here. And
Yeah. I want,
the
I want
oh
to show you something else.
yeah, let's
Something
do
really
it.
amazing. We can go with another prompt though. We can do a different scene. So let's refresh the page so we forget our characters and stuff. Go back into draft
Yeah,
mode.
let's get some new characters going here.
I'm gonna deactivate the microphone for a second. So guys, I want you to be interactive in this stream. So if you have characters, there's one, Josh C already described one. Give us a description. Put them in VC text, and we will use these characters. Give them a name and a description, and we will make stuff with them. And also remember those because I really want you up on stage, and I want to see 10 people using this thing again. It's magical.
Awesome, we're already getting a couple suggestions.
Little Joe, I see what you're doing there. Putting all the difficult words in a prompt.
Yeah, make sure they're all German tongue twisters.
I mean, if you want, dann kann ich auch einfach auf Deutsch weitermachen, dann versteht mich hier überhaupt keiner mehr. Aber Midjourney wird mich verstehen. No. Okay, we got some nice characters.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Midjourney, let's introduce some characters. We're starting with Josh. Josh is a male dryad with silver hair and green eyes, whose skin is mostly tree bark with some human skin patches. What to do the next?
Okay. Let's see. Kay is another character who is an overweight young woman with long brown hair and dark brown eyes. She has full, pouty lips and wears a black top and jeans.
Then we have Marcus, another character, who is a Chinese mariachi xenobotanist assassin on a prison moon. What a prompt.
And let's see, we have gypsy-ish, ragmuffin, Celted folk, alternative, slightly stoned-looking image of course, beguiling and partly liked the fact that one of the girls was called licorice.
What?
Yeah, sorry, I really just read that prompt verbatim. So execute
Okay.
that image,
Yeah.
sure. I can see how much effect your personalization code is having on these results. You know, we're getting a lot of
Yeah.
that multicolored craziness with these
Yeah.
backgrounds.
I'm gonna just turn it off.
Okay, all right. And let's do another character here. Let's see. We have Shuna is a cute goblin female cleric with her satchel of books with teal green skin, blonde hair, and purple eyes. Look at that.
Nice.
Should we try to
Okay,
combine
put
all of
all of
them?
the described characters in one image. And please make sure to separate them in your description so that it is clear where they are and how they look.
Can you make them shopping at a supermarket?
And I want to see them on a Star Trek style bridge, sitting at their stations and dealing with monitors and controls.
I love how we're going. It's two opposite characters entirely, which is amazing. Oh yeah,
In a reality
yeah. Put it in a
show.
put them in a live action reality show.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, and you can see that in terms of like how far the jump to live action happens, right? Is it's interesting. It's also like adding more cast members and stuff because like reality shows tend to be. Can you remake this? Oh, okay, it's generating something else. Let's see what it does.
I just enhanced it. You can
Oh,
talk.
okay.
Now it's doing it again. No. Well, someone posts the page you're generating on. We're generating in my create feed at the moment. So there is no link. It's just midjourney.com.
Yeah, and I will make mention of this too. Whenever you guys use slash show and bring a prompt in and stuff like that, just know that you're going to have to like rerun that prompt in order to use it in draft mode. So Yeah, it's a matter of how far or how much detail you're able to preserve by doing that.
So now for my next trick. Take the last prompt, improve it with lots and lots of details about positioning and what is happening. Imagine what they are doing in this live action TV show set and make the prompt at least double the size.
Yeah, being able to like change things live, like even like aspect ratio alone, is so exciting for me. But yeah, look how enormous that prompt is now.
Yeah, let's analyze that for a second. I'm gonna go out of draft mode. So we have a live action reality TV show set. Check mark. Josh, the male dryad. No, 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 no. Skin mostly tree bark is standing by a lush indoor plant. Where is Josh in these images? There's Josh next to a plant. There's Josh in front of a plant. There's Josh next to a plant. Nice. Discussing nature. All right, we don't see that, but apparently he is. Kay, an overweight young woman with long brown hair, dark brown eyes, and a black top and jeans, is at the kitchen set, testing and laughing. Okay, where is Kay? Kay is there. She's definitely having some food in the hand. If we, yeah, she's probably one of those here in the background. Um, she got a little bit garbled up here. It's like a live cooking set now. That's interesting. Marcus, a Chinese mariachi xenobotanist assassin. Yeah, he's the one with the big hat here. Um, is dramatically demonstrating a cooking technique with alien ingredients. All right, all right, all right. Why not? Why not? Here's holding the camera. I don't know how that is about cooking, but fine. Um, Cooking. Licorice, the gypsyish ragamuffin kilted folk character alternate style, is sitting on a colorful couch. She is probably one of these. I don't know. Here. She's mixed with the goblin a little bit, with Shauna. She one here, yeah. So, as you can see, there is some limitations to the prompt accuracy when we have 5 characters in the scene. But at the end, we have the set is vibrant and. Where is it gone? The set is vibrant and eclectic, with cameras capturing every angle, crew members bustling around, a sense of drama, humor, and magic, high contrast, detailed interactions, vibrant colors, dynamic composition. And these details are there. Like, it's a set, it's drama. There is lots of crew around. It captured all of this, and that's also a very important thing to note that I noticed, at least when prompting with V7 versus V6. Things at the end of your prompt are still getting interpreted and put into the image. It's
The line
still
order
valid
is
that
yeah.
it's still valid that things at the beginning have a higher impact than at the end, but we have this massive skyscraper prompt here, and it's still getting the things at the end. So don't worry about your prompt length.
Well, JDRS, thank you so much for joining, and we'll definitely see you tomorrow for prompt battles. That's actually a really good segue for me to bring this up. Kinky, do you want to make a prompt battles announcement?
Yeah.
Sure thing. Hi, my name is Kinky Kong, and I am kind of the gym teacher here at Midjourney. Basically, we play games. We do events that don't really involve much. I mean, you learn. You definitely learn, but not much technical instruction from me. There we go. You learn from each other. Um, One thing that we like to do on the weekends is an event that we call prompt battles. And if you like free fast hours and meeting new people and being part of a community, and geez, there's so many things that you can do there. Um, and bingo, we sometimes do bingo during the day. You should come join us. We're there for 8 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday. We start at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, And then on Sunday, this is Eastern time. I'm going to put a link in the chat though, so you can see it yourself in your time. And then on Sunday, we start really early so that people can get in from the European countries. And that's it starts at 10 a.m. on my clock, but I don't know what time it says on your clock. But you can check that listing right there, and it'll tell you. I really hope that you come and play with us. Everybody's super nice. You don't have to come on the microphone if you don't want. You don't even have to talk if you don't want. You can just silently play in the shadows, and you know you'll earn a lot of free fast hours if you come. It's really cool. You don't even have to win to get fast hours. We give out participation hours, and I feel like I have taken up enough time on the stage. But come play prompt battles with us or join us for any of our other events that we do throughout the week, and we'd love to see you. Thanks so much. Thanks,
Thank
Victor.
no,
Thanks, Rhapsody.
thank you so much, Kinky. I really appreciate it, and it lets me get a couple sippies in on my coffee that I have here. So I appreciate
Sippies
that.
matter.
Yeah, they do.
I ran out of something to drink.
Oh no.
You know what? I'm gonna leave you on stage and quickly grab something.
Do it, do it, do it. I am gonna show something that at least I found when I was prompting in V7 myself. And let's see here. I'm just going to quickly mute Rhapsody for a sec. Let's just whoop. Okay, cool. So what I wanted to show you guys here is that the actual like context of understanding the image is so much more dramatic than it was before. I'm gonna do a quick draft mode prompt here. Oh, hold on, gotta refresh my browser here. All right, show me 30 monkeys. All right. Now, can you have all those monkeys be white? Okay. And now I want you to make half of them black and have them standing in a checkered pattern. Okay. Have all the black monkeys moving black chess pieces and all the white monkeys moving white chess pieces. Make sure that the white monkeys are all on the left side of the screen and the black monkeys are all on the right side of the screen. Got it for the most part. Now, can you set this in space? Awesome. Look what it did. It did like a split view on the bottom left one. That's interesting. And the monkeys are partially the pawns in the bottom right one here. But at this point, what I want you to do with this image is I want you to zoom out a little bit and make it the box cover of a board game.
There's a question, why is SV4 being added for the prompt when I use an sref in V7? SV stands for sref version, basically, and V7 is using a new sref version. So that's why it is there. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. Let's try that prompt one more time. We'll zoom out again and show the box. But can you show the box on the table, the board game box? Okay, all right, I see what it's doing there. It just made it into a chessboard. I get that, but can you make it an illustration of the previous prompts about monkeys on the box as opposed to a chessboard? All right, now make a logo for this game with a name. Cosmic Monkey Chess. There we go. There you go, guys. When it comes to like creative drafting of like saying, "Hey, I need this to be this to be this," and now give me this based on all that stuff, you can certainly do it. Especially when you start to do like game development, right? You could say, "All right, now I'm going to make a video game of this game. I need a monkey texture pack." uh, all right. Make sure it's only of the white monkey's face and it's unwrapped. It's an unwrapped 3D texture. Interesting. Okay, so it struggled to create the unwrapping part of it. The Can you zoom out and just show us a texture map of that white monkey? I'm curious if I can force it. All right, we're getting more just turnarounds with this. That's fine. Let's try setting that monkey in a video game. Why not? Let's do a screenshot of Fortnite. Oh, a UV map. That's smart. Okay, yeah, we'll do that next too. Okay, actually, let's go back and make it a UV map of that monkey's face. I shouldn't have said monkey's face. Yeah, yeah. We'll move on from trying to make the texture pack though. I have had a lot of fun throwing characters into other games too, right? So like it's like okay, let's put this monkey into Minecraft. Why not?
Minecraft is something that works really, really well.
Make sure it's a screenshot from Minecraft, like I'm seeing the back of the character. Cool. Make it a let's see here. I'm trying to think. With the voxel art style, can we one make it lower resolution and it just blockier basically makes it more like pixel art. Remove all shaders. It should not look like Unreal. It should look a flat texture color.
I mean, to be honest, this is how Minecraft looks these days.
I know. I'm thinking about old Minecraft, not new Minecraft. But there you go. Yeah, it's definitely leading us farther and farther away from that aesthetic, and that's really cool. That they're able to establish it this way. Make sure he's got a big tail though. Look, he even got a bit of a slump like a monkey did, like the slump in the shoulders. It's really cool in the third result because that's not how Minecraft characters look. It's just really cool to see it like it do. Oh, okay, that's awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, it being able to quickly recontextualize this stuff is just where my mind goes, right? Um, it comes down to a lot of the intent at the end of the day. I mean, if we're doing a D&D campaign, it's pretty straightforward because we all have our established characters that we are working with. We can move on from there. But it's like say that you are a creative developer of some sort and you have a client that comes up to you and they're like, okay, I have this idea, but I don't really know how to put it to words, right? Then we could sit down with them in a session like this and be like, let's find those words, you know? So it's like, okay, let's start a new prompt, Midjourney. Let's have a, uh, a calming, uh, yeah, let's do a calming living room in a Art Deco style.
By the way, I'm on the green screen again. You can put me
Okay,
back.
I'll put you back. Boop. There you are. Okay. All right. Put a spiky, black-haired anime antagonist in that room.
You going back to anime again?
I do. I am anime. Make sure it's live action. Actually, I don't want anime. That's awesome. Okay. What is it? Can you make sure that there is some Saturday morning cartoons on the TV? Just put himself on the television. Let's just put a pink elephant. Why not? Okay, sweet. All
Or
right.
just writing, he should be shorter and have a staff, maybe a leader. Oh, that's the monkey.
Okay, yeah, it's for the monkey. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know what? Okay, so we've got the scene, we got the environment, we got the look that we're aiming for here. But the client, let's just say that we have a client that's like, okay, I want to do a I want to do something that feels a little more like the 70s. Can you generate that more of a 70s aesthetic? Awesome. Look at the third one. It's like perfect. That's great. Um, can you give me a style sheet of this aesthetic? There's
Can you
all
put Sarah?
so cool.
Can you put Sarah in the television as a character? Probably.
Yeah, we would have to reprompt who Sarah is, right? So, all right, there's a new character whose name is Sarah, and she is a let's say a gray-haired witch with black hair, with a black hat. I mean, generate that. Sure. Okay. She should be wearing a black witch's hat with white hair. Okay, now throw that character into the living room that we prompted earlier.
Right.
Make sure it's
Well, put her.
illustrated.
Yeah, put her into the TV. She's the character of the TV, and
Okay,
the
that's
other
right,
guy
right,
is
right,
still
right,
in the.
right. All right, let's go back to the previous prompt with the pink elephant, but we're gonna replace the pink elephant with the girl with Sarah specifically. Generate that. Huh? Okay. Oh, there it goes.
Thinking.
It's thinking. It's thinking. We should probably double back a
No,
little
you.
bit, but
No. You ran into the problem with the large language model mixing up what you said. Like, and you need to be very exact about what you want to
yeah,
get as a
my
prompt when
phrasing
it
was pretty
comes to
jumbled there.
multiple characters.
All right, so let's retry generating that scene, but specifically have Sarah in the television, like on the screen of the television, and have the black-haired anime antagonist sitting on the couch watching that television. Okay, it's kind of coming through on that second result, but let's make sure we bring back that '70s aesthetic.
It is, as with all prompting, when you're prompting in draft mode, important to have a look on the prompts actually and read what it does, especially when debugging.
Right.
And right now, we see that it doesn't separate out where which character is and give it a exact description. And that's what you need to ask for to improve this prompt.
Right. Right. Yeah, especially when it comes to like me just randomly spitballing Sarah's description there, I barely remembered it, so I was like, ah. But let's see here, because also true that Sarah's prompt was done on Rhapsody's computer, and so like in terms of we've already reset it too, so it's we would have to reset the prompt to get the exact description for that character. But let me try this really quick then. All right, you almost got it right when it came to the to who's on the screen, but I need a black-haired antagonist male character sitting on the couch, separated from the television by a good distance. It's getting there, but it's definitely some convolution to where I would prefer to restart with this prompt. But you could see that she's certainly on the television. Like we could easily also just move on to in painting too. Like where we come in and we start to hit editor and bring in the character back. Um, and as soon as is it is I forgot, is the editor also V7, or is it gonna go back to version 6.1?
I'm not sure actually. I think it is. It was never mentioned exactly what version it's using.
Not V7, not V7. That's what they're saying in the chat.
Yeah,
So that
I
means
think
that
so.
if I wanted to, I have my character Victor saved here. I can easily, because I have him saved actually as a /prefer in my account. So if I am doing an in paint of this character sitting on the couch, so what if I just did hyphen hyphen cref hyphen hyphen Victor, which is my prefer for at least an older version of Victor, and then wrote version 6.1 in order to bring us back to version 6 for this in paint here. Is it going to let me do it? I think so. So you can see we have
Also,
reactivated cref by doing that, and Victor's references pop up because of the /prefer where I've saved him in this scene. But it will have the what is it, the limitations of version 6.1 come in, which is not really that limited, by the way, guys. Like I'm still amazed by what version 6.1 can do. But look at this. I've brought a tool that many of you all are very familiar with, cref, and brought it to a version 7 prompt, just with a quick in paint. So like in terms of draft mode, at least for me, right, it's what's so exciting about it is the fact that it literally drafts the images. I can then make higher resolution ones. I can make better, more refined products after I have drafted the initial image. So I hope this is exciting for you guys, because man, it blew my mind being able to just jump around like this. So
yeah, it is. And it also will just get better. For everybody who didn't read the announcement or is watching this on YouTube later, version 7 is kind of in a pre-alpha state right now with very limited capabilities to its features. But there will be 6 weeks of weekly updates coming with multiple referencing tools, with improvements to the model itself, and so on. So things are only getting better from here on outwards.
I think we should probably review some of the other stuff people have made, just because
Yeah,
it's been a
yeah,
good minute for that. So it just
100%.
the thing for me, really quick. I just want to mention this for anyone that hopped in here last second. I do want to show that you can post your prompts here on VC Create in the Midjourney server. Just type /show and then post your job ID, and you can get your job ID a couple different ways. If you have a prompt that's inside of a different Discord server, for example, as opposed to using midjourney.com, you can just react with the envelope emoji. So just envelope like this, react to any prompt with that, and it will give you the job ID for that prompt. But you will need to own that prompt in order to edit it locally. But it is really really cool to be able to shift around your results and let other people iterate off of it in real time. And so let's take a look at what you guys have been doing here. I can see a lot of it's riffing off of the stuff we were doing in real time. So we have Star Trek officers playing Minecraft in a spaceship holodeck. That's great, and you can just in terms of preserving that Minecraft aesthetic, it's certainly doing it. It's doing a really good job at that, actually. We have a cinematic still of an alien movie when old xenomorphs are playing bingo at the retirement space station. All the characters in the scene are alien xenomorphs, but with gray wigs, wide angle lenses, high Dutch angle, far view. I do think it's a bit odd to ask for something that is so dramatically not human and then say that they, are or gray wigs and that kind of thing. I think that might be where some of the convolution there is. And there's also a profile code attached to it,
But
so it could be a little bit
look
of that too.
look in detail at the first image. It's actually doing it.
Yeah, I mean it's
Like the
certainly
head
there.
shape and everything.
Yeah, it is certainly pulling that
Yeah.
head back and doing some pretty crazy stuff. I can understand why each result is so different though, too. Because of that sort of prompt. Very cool though. Very cool. The let's see here. We got more Star Trek. And oh, they're playing Catan on the Star Trek ship there. That's awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see here. What is this? A cinematic still of an alien. Okay, it's the bingo one again, but it's got this kind of like overhead drawn aesthetic. That's pretty cool. I want to see. Look at the Catan, aliens playing settlers of Catan in real life on Earth, and it just made Catan. But I'm curious if that's because of the profile that's being attached to that. Oh whoa, it's Hellboy in a western, a live action western cinematic with Hellboy. That's the cool idea. He's riding a yak. Is that in the prompt too? It has to be. Uh, Yeah,
Oh, it's a
when
white
White
yak.
Yak cut us about. That there you go, right there. That's awesome. So let's try this really quick. I'm curious to see more stuff from you guys. It's an alien with a giant bingo ball. That's great. Let's see here. I want to see what other wild places you guys have gone. What is this? Rub 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 beer beer.
Ba
Uh,
ba 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 ba. It's a German tongue twister.
is it?
So yeah,
That's silly.
a very famous one, like an artist from Germany, a musical artist, Bodo Wartke, and a friend of him, Margie Fisher, did this amazing tongue twister rap that has conquered the world on YouTube. That's why people know it now.
I see. I see. I think you might have actually sent me that video at one point.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. Let's see here. Okay, very cute. This cute thing should not exist. That's from Golem Pasta. Um, yeah, it shouldn't. Kill it with fire. which is something you can do. In fact, so if we were to take this prompt, I'm gonna skip on the profile code for now. Just gonna skip on the profile code and just do a quick little silly thing with this. So when it comes to just prompting with that generically, I want to make sure my profile's off. Okay, cool. I'm just curious what happens here if we enter into draft mode and then say that. So this cute thing should not exist. It ran it as just this simple prompt. So, all right, now set it on fire.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't like that.
It
Let's
didn't actually.
yeah. Let's let me try let's let's uh let's let it load. All right, can you zoom out and show that it is on fire with flames? I mean, you said it shouldn't exist, so we're gonna see how far we can force it to do that.
There's still no fire in
Yeah,
your prompt.
there's still no fire. What the heck?
It might be that
Oh, it might be censoring it.
sitting. Yeah.
All right. Can you surround it with flames? Generate an image of it surrounded by flames.
Yeah. That's also one thing of error. One point of erroring out. By the way, if you ask it questions, it might try to give you an answer in the background without actually prompting something.
Oh, I got it on fire by doing surrounded by flames. How about it? Okay, all right. Actually, get rid of the fire and make it covered in a blue syrupy goo. There you go. It is certainly covered in a blue goo. Okay, let's actually let's. I'm trying to think of how much sillier we can make this one. All right, let's make this stupidly cute thing, holding a baseball bat. Oh, it just kind of did a generic thing holding a bat. Um,
Yeah, because it's not actually referencing the style of the image that it generated, just the prompt.
yeah, there's not actually anything describing the character in there. It's interesting. Um, okay. Let's do a fuzzy pink ball fighting against an anime Goliath. That was suggested to us in the chat. I tried. Let's make sure the ball is really tiny. I really like this so much more than negative prompts, guys. It works so much better than negative prompts. Negative prompts oftentimes broke things. This doesn't break things. Generate it with the smaller, or generate the pink ball being a lot smaller than it is here,
And having super cute eyes.
and having super cute eyes. Yes.
Dragon Ball, cute. Yeah.
Get rid of the guy with the sword. Okay, all right. So it's convoluting the idea of Goliath in the small pink ball here, but it is interesting. Um, let's see here. It's because the pink ball doesn't have arms. It's trying to shove arms into it, so that's interesting too. Um, okay. Where to go? Where to go, guys? Where to go? No
Yeah,
doesn't
I
do.
would say
Go ahead.
I would say what we could do is do a quick question round. We showed a lot of things and we talked about a lot of things. If there's questions about V7, if there's questions about draft mode or whatnot that you want to know, please ask them. Put them in the chat. We can go through all of the questions. Doesn't really matter what. If you prompted something today and you think it didn't come out right and you don't understand it and you need some prompt help there, that's also the point where we can do that. And so we can just explore together what you prompted and what the problems maybe are with it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to take the screen over so we can do the multi-prompt thing again, or?
I would just have a look for a moment if people are actually writing anything in VC text, or is everything clear to you guys? Like, this is your chance.
Yeah.
People are doing transition timelines with V7.
I'm curious what you mean by that
That's
exactly, Enid.
cool. I mean, I think it's transgender transition timelines.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Oh, that's fascinating. Yeah, there's an interesting overlap when it comes to the trans community and people using AI just because they do want to visualize themselves, what in all sorts of ways, right? So it's whether a lot of subculture communities find I think have found their home in places like Midjourney. It's really cool. My Enids are me doing that. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I think I've absorbed as much information as my brain can today. There is a lot to absorb, guys. We've barely
Yeah.
scratched the surface on it, and it really comes into it really just comes into play that there is all sorts of different approaches to this, and we have at least refined one way, at least one method with this, which is to create new profiles or new mood boards specifically for V7. That will probably get you happier results, as well as making sure you just rank a bunch of images. Like ranking up to 1,000 images is going to give you significantly better results because it follows your preferences. If you're like me and working in entertainment with a large range of people, it's nice to be able to turn that off because it means that I can say, hey, I actually don't like I'm working with someone else's aesthetic today, someone else's goals. So it's just a really great way to kind of like tweak Midjourney in a way that gives you all sorts of options. Turning on and off those profiles. So like I have the let's take a look at this personalization here. I have it turned off right now. I'll turn it back on here in a moment. But when we were building the let's see the let's see, where is it? So I have my tumbling up one here. I'll show this one really quick, and that actually includes all of my comics that I have made and posted to Reddit. For anyone that's new here, I try to post semi regularly to online about this story set in the mid 90s, and it's been really interesting to see people's reaction of learning that all this is generated in terms of the foundation of it. I redrew heavily over it. And mood boards can react differently if there's images, or sorry, if there's text in the images. So you might want to try uploading versions with no text. But overall, this is tons of my comics as a single mood board. So I'm curious. I haven't actually done this yet. When it comes to working with this version of 7 here, if I were to say that this is a animated, let's just say that this is a animated film set in the 90s. The thing about this is that I'm largely relying on its understanding of what the 90s is. And the thing about that is that version 6.1 had a lot of trouble understanding the like CRT monitors, particularly. Like it always had to redraw monitors from that era. And you could see that in terms of the line quality and stuff, we're definitely getting something interesting. But it's again, we are using images that are not really like Midjourney really prefers AI generated images to hone in these profiles. But if I now say that this is a comic panel, so let's say that this is multiple comic panels that follow all of what's inside of that mood board, we will probably get closer to the at least the rules that I have established inside the mood board. I'm also in draft mode right now, so I'm curious if this is going to iterate slightly differently than what I had before.
You
Because
should
I should probably hop out of draft
You
mode.
should, yeah, you should hop, especially for comic stuff and things
Yes.
that benefit from clear lines and lots of detail in a drawn style. You shouldn't go into draft mode.
Yeah, so let's try it. Let's go ahead and just submit this outside of draft mode, and you can see just how fast it is. It's amazing how fast version 7 is.
Also, Dr. Orpheus is writing, "Holy crap, you're the author." Yes, he is. He does a lot of comics on Reddit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's quite fun to be at least in the space of other artists and stuff like that for doing what I'm doing is it puts me in an interesting spot and also kind of a pickle half the time where I do a lot of drawing. I do a lot of work on top of my comics, and it ends up being one of those questions of, you know, should this be something that people know is AI, or does it just happen to be made by AI and people still like it? And I wanted to prove that constantly. So all my works have this element of like I am talking about AI subjects, but the actual content itself doesn't talk about AI at all. It's meant to be thematically addressing it in various different ways. So if I look at these results though, we have there's no description of characters. There's, like I said, version 7 is actually really bad at short prompts. It's not meant for this. It's meant for a lot more description than what I'm giving here. But the mood board, you could see just how much influence those comic panels have on all these results. The only thing I've changed is the mood board. So if I now start to describe my characters, because they are in the mood board, there's a good chance that they start to pop up too. So I'll say depicting a blonde wearing a black tie. And we can iterate slowly with just adding words one by one and see where we end up going in terms of being a comic. But at least for the workflow that I had for version 6.1, I was generating animated film panels and then expanding them out to comics. Nowadays, with the way version 7 has been working for me lately, I want you guys to take a look at just how coherent it is of her like just entering this room. I haven't described what she's doing in this space at all or anything in terms of her, but it's how clean all four of these results are that it's so impressive to me. And now I can say specific panels like in the first panel she loads a paper into a Xerox machine. In the second panel, the Xerox machine jams up. And in the third panel, she punches the Xerox machine. Or I'll say she kicks. She kicks the Xerox machine. And in the last panel, there's a punchline. I'm going to give it nothing. Let's just see what that does. A lot of times whenever I'm kind of conceptualizing the comics and stuff, I usually end up with an inspirational moment, and then I try to drive off of that moment. I try to span in different directions and stuff. And what's really cool about version 7 is that as long as you provide all the recipe, right, you're going to get what you ask for. Sometimes to a fault, as in like it gets a little convoluted with the ideas of the words you're saying. But look at this. The punchline is that it exploded. The punchline is that there's paper flying at her everywhere here. There she is kicking. It's not in the fourth panel, but it's definitely there, and it's very easy for me to rearrange things. So on and so forth, guys. I mean, look at this. It's just amazing to be able to get this level of coherency and in control of all these panels. I'm curious how you guys end up using this, especially when it comes to, say, bringing in your own characters into my series. You're more than welcome to do that on my Gnarly Studios server. I will give a little shout out to that really quick, just so that everyone here has it. If you look at VC text, there is a link to right there. Thank you so much, Kinky. There is a link to the Gnarly Studios server. That is a server you guys are welcome to join and collaborate with me and everyone else that's on there. We have a wonderful community that we've built over there. Or everyone is just trying to tell their own stories and make it so that it's easy for everyone else to tell them too. So we have a character portal where you can submit original characters, and we're so excited about all the new tools that we're going to be getting over the next couple weeks to play with. But it really comes down to cataloging and tracking our characters, and that's what the character portal lets you do. So I highly recommend joining that and checking out what it can do, or at least what
Yeah.
the community
Now,
can do
at
for you.
this point, I'm also going to plug that we're also doing an after show after this workshop over there. So if you join the server now, you will be able to join the after show there, and that's the place where you can directly talk with us usually, because we're all there in a channel, and you can just ask us questions, tell us about your projects, and yeah, it's amazing. Join it.
Yeah. The stage is particularly fun on the Gnarly Studio server because we do let everyone come in there. If you act like if you act like a jackass though, I'm gonna kick you out. So just heads up, no spamming. We do have channels specifically for generating things as well. That just helps keeps things organized. They're called lodges on the server. But okay. Woo! Josh C says woo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so stoked to see what we can do. Now I want to show you guys one more thing with this actually. Okay, which is that we can also downstep to version 6.1 in order to do remixes as well. So if I do a subtle remix here, and I have her profile on there, remember we have access to Niji 6. Okay, but there's no Niji 7 yet. Okay, so I'm going to do Niji 6. I'm going to write that at the top here. And if I wanted to, I could also include a character reference of Sage. Every 6.1 tool is available to us as well. But I'm going to just hit that, and we are going to see how it recontextualizes this scene as a variation subtle using Niji 6, where we are actually using version 7 to do the construction, and then we are essentially relying on our previous workflows in version 6 in order to finish this scene. And you could see that, yeah, it's working. It works great, actually, at doing exactly this. Especially if you're familiar with my comics, you'll be like, holy crap, that looks so much more like Sage right off the bat. And I haven't even used a character reference yet. I have just provided the initial variation to show you guys. But now I'm going to grab her profile here. Let's see. Where is she? And just a second, guys. I have so many characters to list from. Okay, here we go. Got it. So let's try that again, but this time as a variation remix subtle. And then I am going to paste her character reference in there as well. So I have to copy. Make sure it says Niji 6. And then, oh, it's actually not letting me do it because it sees the overlay. So now if I click on settings up here, I will switch it from 7 to 6.1. And now CREF shows up. That's what I did wrong. Okay, there you go. Now we have both CREF and the original prompt from version 7 that we're working with. And I'm just going to hit enter on that. The character reference itself is extremely strong from version 6.1. For anyone that's been on my streams before, they know that just the strength of CREF can oftentimes kind of break your images. It'll try to force the character back into that pose. But look at this, guys. Look at this. Okay. We have the comic completely constructed with version 7. Look, and she's even holding her leg to maximize the. It just, this stuff makes me laugh so much, and it's just incredible that we can do this without even waiting the character out, which I'll show you guys next. One last thing, variation subtle remix. Okay, we will again switch this to version 6.1. Make sure it doesn't say version 7 in the prompt. Paste our character references there. But now I'm going to add one more parameter, -CW80. And this will allow for a little more flexibility in her character design, so that maybe she's a little less stiff-shouldered and standing straight up. Maybe she's bending around a little more. Maybe her hairstyle changes a little bit. We are allowing for that flexibility by including a what is it? Oh, wow. Okay, look what it did. It barely changed the composition of it, but it included a little more of her well, what did it do actually? Let's take a look at the original. It barely changed it. Wow, that's a surprise to me. Is it because no, that is the character reference. Interesting. I wonder if that has to do with the fact that did I not write Niji 6 on here? Oh, that's what it was. I didn't write Niji. Okay, so let's do that one more time and see. That's really interesting. Okay, it's really good to know. If you do a downstep like this and it does not feature a like Niji 6 as part of that downstep, it barely changes the composition of itself, right? Even with the character reference. That's really cool. So let me write Niji now. Paste the character reference into there. All right, now it should be how I originally intended it to be. This should change the image in the same respect that we saw these images change. Okay, but it is so powerful to be able to say, hey, I want to be able to see this character. Oh, did I forget the character weight? Yeah. The point is, guys, is that you could still use all the version 6 tools. It's just a matter of saving that composition and using it as a variation subtle. Okay. At this point, Rhapsody, I was wondering if there was any other things like particularly I wanted to do the where you only prompt in German and I only prompt in English. I wanted to see
Oh,
if it would understand that.
we can we can do that, but I promised to some guys that ask some questions to answer them
Do it.
when you stop talking about comics.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna just scroll back and read the questions again.
You could turn on your screen by
So
the way if
Cosmic
you want.
Mama, yeah, not right now.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Well, actually, I will do it. Just let me move my windows around, so that I'm not showing boring streamer stuff. And switch back to my screen cap. Ooh.
I have a question. What was my question?
No, and now I need the question again. Oh, where's my Discord? There it is. So that was right here. Cosmic Mama asked for 7. What are your settings regarding stylization, weirdness, and variety typically? Do you use standard or raw? So it depends. My standard stylize is usually around 450 to 600. What I have to say is that the stylize parameter in V7 works a little bit different than in version 6. So the weightings you're used to from version 6 need to be adjusted. High stylize is, in my opinion, still a lot more effective than in V6, so it's stronger. It will lock you in more into what Midjourney thinks is beautiful. So I tend to lower that a bit, especially when it comes down to a drawn style and to get the realism out of Midjourney. Then I go down in the stylization. The same is true for Style Raw. Style Raw will basically give you a raw image, so all the beautification is turned off. Stylization will still have an impact, but not as much. And activating Style Raw is very important if you want to get more prompt coherency. So if you wanted to prompt to follow your prompt more closely, and both are incredibly useful if you want to put your prompt coherency to the max. Put stylization 0, put style raw on, and that's fine. But I usually tend to work around 450 and just in normal mode. And if I notice that I need a little bit more oomph, then I turn on style raw. Weird and variety was previously called chaos, right? Weird is weird. That's just weird, and variety will. It's even mentioned as dash chaos here on the interface still. It will just put in a lot of, let's say, random data kind of into your prompt and will therefore increase the variety of your output. I usually don't use it at all because I want to describe my scenes very, very well and exact. But if you think that the images you're getting, especially if you're not into doing long exact prompts, if you just want to write a few quick words like a book on a shelf and you're always getting the same scene and you're bored of it, then put variety on. variety up to 10 or 20 will just give you a little bit more variety without destroying your prompt, while high values, 100, or I think it goes even more,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
No, chaos
Um,
is capped at 100.
oh, it's a capped as this one is kept at 100, right? Yeah, will just give you random images basically. It
Yeah.
will be so varied that you almost cannot control what's in there.
It basically ignores your prompt at 100. It is very useful for breaking out of, say, stuck poses with crefs. Like if you sometimes pump up the chaos pretty high, you can get characters to do things they wouldn't normally do. But it's way more effective to use a cref with version 6.1 anyway. It's way more effective to use a cref that matches the pose and intent of the image that you're using, which is asking a lot actually, because it's like I first need to prompt my character doing a handstand, and then I'll use that handstand as the cref to make the character handstand inside the scene. We don't need to do that anymore with draft mode. Like we could literally
Yeah.
just ask for it now. It's just blows my mind.
Yeah, or you don't even need to put draft mode in. You can just write it in your prompt and it will work. So it's just this good. That's basically it.
It's just as good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. And then there was a second question. What's the difference between P profile and sref? And that's a bit of a difficult question nowadays because they both kind of do the same and they don't. I would as a guidance, I would say your personalization code is the first thing that acts on generating your image. So it gives you a general style, it's a general idea of how you like things being arranged, of how people look, how colors are used, how much contrast you have in your images, and so on. And a style reference is then on a layer on top of this basic stylization that lets you control your image style more directly by inputting images. And both together give you a very fine control. So you can have a P code, a personalization code, or a mood board code that controls how generally your images are constructed. And then you can on top put a style reference that will then have your own personalization twist to it. And this way you can really fine control, let's say, different lighting in scenes while still adhering to your style of composition, color choice, and so on. So it's a fine difference, right? Did I explain that so that you actually understood it, or should I try a new attempt, Jeremy? I'm waiting for Jeremy. Is there other questions? Do you think the stylized range feels more linear in strength? No, it's definitely not linear. It's exponential. I know that for a fact. So if you go up to stylize 1,000, it's way stronger.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes when it comes to like, at least stylization definitely works differently than it did in version 6.1. Depending on what you're doing, like stylization 0 can be very handy. It's really good for making like stop motion puppets and things like that, where you really don't need that fidelity in things like the skin tones and stuff, but you do want to have things like fingerprints show through. Stylization 0 is really something I think I want to see people exploring too. Just because it gives a very unique raw look to things.
Yeah. Right. So is there any other questions? Did we...
I understand it, and I will try it. That's what he said. Awesome.
That's nice. Good. Josh is also writing. The sref is much more immediate as well. You can use srefs to get styles much different than your P code. Your P code can be harder to change because you have to rate a lot of images to steer your boat into a different route. Yeah, that's true as well. With mood boards, it's a bit more easier. You can just upload a few images, have a mood board, and therefore have a profile code. But in general, srefs is more of a temporary direct solution. srefs and p codes together also have a nice nice effect. If I go to my organize really quick here and just grab a bunch of images, let's say we take just my character. I just input a lot of these style reference characters here. Let's have a look what happens here. So now I added a bunch of images created with my Rio here as an sref. And you will see, like, let me open this in a new tab. Oh, these are actually tiny. Oh no, these are 128 by 128. That's super tiny.
Yeah, that's some dummies.
No, we don't want this. Thank you. Or is this? Huh. You see, this is one of my stickers that I use sometimes.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Cosmic Mama says, I'm having trouble with this prompt. Can you try it out? It's very complex. I was trying to break things and I think I broke it. Yeah, please post the prompt. We'll mess with it.
Yeah, post the prompt.
Okay.
Okay, I will have a look at this in a second. So now we have a nice image here, generated with these as srefs. And what you can see here is that these are very blue, and the blue shirt is very prominent. And all of the stylization that happens has an impact on how colors are constructed, right? We have the red, we have the blue, so we have red flowers here, and this blue, I don't know the English word actually at the moment. We have a very distinct anime style. The same is going on here. We have this kind of greenish blue, which is a mixture of like all the green colors in here. And we have these shadows in the anime style, of course. I don't know what's happening here, to be honest, but we still, again, we have the blue and the red. We have the feathers, so it's getting all of these things from the style reference. Now, interestingly, if we use these, can I? This interface. That's something I don't like. You are able to click these and just use them as two things at once. Click or drag to add. Can I do alt drag? No. Can I get control drag? No. Can I do shift drag? Yes. No. It just moves them instead of using them both. So I have to add them again. If I add them as image prompts too, we can almost fake now a character reference with image references and style references. That should actually work. Doesn't it? Something does. Not as good as I had it in version 6. This is something I didn't try in version 7 specifically, so I probably shouldn't show it here. But if we now would describe the character, it would probably go in there. Yeah, maybe the learning here is prompt coherence. Yeah, that's something that actually I forgot to talk about.
Yeah, your chaos is at 100 in this, you know?
Is it? Oh my god, I didn't notice because I played around with it.
Yeah,
if my chaos is 100,
I never play around with the settings button, and as soon as I did, I was like, oh no, a bunch of stuff gets left on. I don't intend to.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably why it's not working. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're still getting a lot of different characters. But we're getting the style now from these characters without using my personalization. We're even getting the characters somewhat
Yeah.
transferred now into something new.
Without
This
any
is
description of the
strange.
character. That's the important distinction here.
Yeah. Yeah. This is strangely uncanny somehow, but also very interesting.
I'm always kind of scared of real life looking people with anime eyes. Like
Yeah, it's painted on. Like this is meme content. Like
yes,
this
like I
is
photoshopped this anime face on top of yours. That's what I get out of this.
yeah.
In
Yeah,
fact, you should
right.
if this was in draft mode, I would say, all right, make this a meme, and and see what it does.
Shift drag will work. It used to work and it's broken. They told me in support, writes Noten. That's good. So then we can just copy things over and it works. Yeah. Okay, let's analyze that prompt from Cosmic Mama. So we got, what do we have here? A live action style shot of a beautiful Asian woman with short hair and round glasses, wearing high-waisted jeans and a colorful turtleneck sweater, walking her Pomeranian, which is a dog, in a matching outfit. In futuristic London, surrounded by vibrant stained glass patterns, circular shapes, bold outlines, bright colors, pastel tones, soft lighting, natural light, depth of field, geometric background, fantasy, magical atmosphere, reflection, sunlight, shadows, symmetrical composition, retrofuturistic, past futuristic, canal boats in the canals of the Thames River with space taxis flying above realistic cinematic style. That is a lot to ask for. Let's have a look.
I love how it's like, let's have a look, and then it just beep boop 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 boop, and we get the image. Like it really, it's amazing how much more efficient version 7 is at producing images. That's my cat, by the way. She's 21 years old and lets me know about it every day. Yeah, hi.
What is happening here? This is interesting.
It's kind of a Pomeranian.
So let's have a look at the prompt again. So yeah, the Pomeranian is very specific. Like different dog breeds, beside like the best known, are probably still a problem. If we add dog, it probably helps. Also, what I'm getting from this prompt is there's a lot of overlap and a lot of problematic words that kind of mean the same but then don't. Like pastel tones, soft lighting, live action.
Like I wonder
That's
if you ran this through another AI and said, "Hey, can you simplify this prompt or condense all the redundancies?" It would give you an even better result.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out all of this crap about colors and stuff. And just have live action, realistic style, and the location in there. And then we have a look what happens.
All right, I'm gonna mute up real quick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
getting better.
it's good. Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. So we have a beautiful Asian woman with short hair and round glasses, check. Wearing high-waisted jeans, check. And a colorful turtleneck sweater, check. Walking her Pomeranian dog in matching outfit. In matching outfit is probably difficult to understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking at the
we would
background. It looks like the
probably-
background matches too. So it's like I think you would need to specifically say the dog is wearing a matching outfit to its owner.
Yes. And not even, don't write to its owner. You need to describe the outfit of the dog. Like, what's the dog actually wearing? In a matching outfit. In futuristic London. Okay, we don't see that yet. Surrounded by vibrant stained glass patterns. Like, do you want to be it in London? Or do you want it to be surrounded by vibrant stained glass patterns? Do you want to be it in London, but all the skyscrapers have vibrant stained glass patterns? That's the question you have to answer for Midjourney here. Circular shapes. Why do we have circular shapes? And where are the canal boats coming in? Like that's all the problems with this prompt. We have to construct this differently. We have to say we want a live action style shot of a beautiful Asian woman with short hair and round glasses, wearing high waisted jeans and a colorful purple neck sweater. Stop. She is walking her Pomeranian dog, which also wears a colorful pullover or sweater. Through the streets of a futuristic London. They are surrounded by skyscrapers with vibrant stained glass facades. I hope it's written that way. On the left of the image, we see a canal with futuristic boats.
No, I really appreciate you
Let's see
sending
what
it in,
this
Cosmic.
is. Yeah, it's really good. Like, it's important to think about. You get these prompts from draft mode, and suddenly they don't work. In that moment, you need to be able to reword it, to restructure it, to make it your own, to really get the things you prompted for. So, okay, now we have her with the sweater, high-waist jeans, walking in London. We see this building that I forgot the name of, but my architecture professor in art school never stopped talking about. We have a skyscraper with stained glass facades. We have the dog wearing the same sweater, and we have the canal with some boats. So this is all good. Now we see the boats are not really futuristic, and the city is more of a normal London. So we want futuristic cyberpunk boats, and we want a live action style shot in a futuristic city of London. London. With short hair.
The name of it's called the Gherkin, which is such a gross name for a building. Oh, the Gherkin. It's
Also sent in a prompt, which is working well, apparently. A photograph of a woman and a dog walk beside a canal in futuristic London. The woman wears high-waisted jeans and a colorful turtleneck sweater, wearing circular glasses. The Pomeranian wears a matching outfit. Okay, interesting. Let's just probe this as well. Oh yeah. We're getting somewhere. But now we lost the boats. So futuristic cyberpunk boats is apparently a problem.
Yeah, I'd probably set it in Venice or someplace that has canals. London,
Yeah.
London don't got no canals like that.
It got a river.
It got a river, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's definitely going to struggle a little more with this. I think about tropes, right? I think about like visual tropes about what do you think of London, like
Yep.
what do you think of certain locations, and I do not see canal waterways in my head, but it is really cool to see just how you work that out, Rhapsody. Like the entire process is just fascinating. Especially with the refining those results you had earlier. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one
So
that most
this
impressed
will
me.
be
Was the one with the gherkin in the background. The gherkin.
There is a place in England that has canal boats, maybe not in London. Ah, interesting. I
Uh,
also saw if you prompt for a specific vampire dog, it will be a Pomeranian. Okay, let's try this. Vampire
Oh,
dog.
there's definitely canals in England for sure. They have all the little canal boats,
Yeah.
the really thin, like skinny little boats that I want to ride on one day. But no, London itself is going to be a lot more metropolitan and dense. I really want to add one thing. Cosmic Bomba said, "Wow, this is great. Can you copy and paste the prompt to the chat when we arrive at the fabulous destination, the pickle?" I'm not familiar with the pickle. The pickle of London.
Yeah.
I'll Google it really quick. Let's see what we get.
Oh, the pickle of yeah, that's the skyscraper. That's
Is
the
that the? Oh,
skyscraper that
that's the gherkin.
yeah.
That's the gherkin.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The gherkin. Okay, is the pickle. Yeah, I'm not familiar with British jokes on on their own stuff.
Oh, look at this. This is good.
Yeah, it is great. I'm
This is
very
also
happy. Yeah,
fine.
very happy with the
I
direction this
just
is going.
we're just running out a bit out of screen space, I feel, because we have these skyscrapers on the top, which is a very like vertical element, and then we also want the person and the dog in the image,
Yeah.
and then we also want a canal with boats.
It
That's
like understand when it
difficult.
comes to the aspect ratio is such a major factor in the results for your Midjourney images. It shouldn't be a surprise
Yeah.
that when we are using draft mode that it's automatically adjusting aspect ratios, especially when you ask it to, right? Because that is going to significantly hone in the result to be like how you imagine it being. So if you ask for an animated film, you probably want it to be in the aspect ratio of an animated film. If sometimes the intent can make it so that, like, for example, if you ask for a film but then make it very tall, like kind of like a TikTok video or something, you're much more likely to end up in a place where it's some like a zoom in of a frame of a film as opposed to the full frame of the film. That's really where you go, okay, no, I know what I'm making. I know what the intent of what I'm making is. So therefore, the aspect ratio should match that. At least through my experience. Feel free for anyone to contradict me there, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Alistair said yes, aspect ratio is huge and will influence part of the data set you draw from too. Oh, good to know. Yeah, it is certainly true that it cannot be understated that if you want a movie poster, you probably want it to be aspect ratio 4:5, things like that. And when you ask draft mode specifically for a movie poster, it goes, oh yeah, they tend to be about this size, so it does that for you. I'll contradict you because you said so, but I know I'll be wrong. That's funny.
Contradict him.
Oh no, I have a buddy that is a very proud contrarian, right? Like he's just all about basically any argument you make, he wants to make a rebuttal to it and make the opposite argument just to piss you off. Like just to drive you. He has made arguments that things that he just super doesn't believe in, and he just does it because he finds the whole thing entertaining. Very awkward dinners though. It's like no, he doesn't actually believe. He's just really into arguing. That's just his thing.
Ah, I hear we're getting somewhere now.
Robert, if you're seeing this, I just made fun of you. Okay, all right, moving on.
Oh yeah, this is now 3 pickles, a futuristic boat with an eye, her walking her dog with the sweater. So there's all the elements in this prompt now that we need. And now we can go back and just add the rest. Bold outlines, bright colors, pastel tones, soft lighting. Remove natural light. Because I think soft lighting and natural light is a bit contradictory. Depth of field, yes. Geometric background, okay. Fantasy? We don't need fantasy. Magical atmosphere, yes. Reflections? I don't know about reflections. I'm happy if we don't have them right now. Sunlight. We don't need sunlight. We have soft lighting. We have shadows. Shadows will be automatically added. Symmetrical composition. How do you want to make this symmetrical? No way. Retrofuturism. Retrofuturistic. Oh, we can remove the second mention of it. Like what I'm doing here is I'm trying to reduce the noise in the text prompt to a minimum while still giving like all the information needed. And then we can always add things later, but we need to make sure that we are not forgetting like half of the image on the way there. Never mind on the reflections and shadows. Yeah, if you don't mind, then remove them. But look at this. We have all of the things now. We have the boats. We don't have the canal, but we can imagine there's something. This is cool.
One of the first things that really tripped me out about Midjourney, yeah, was where I was able to mention specific buildings. Like we've been talking about the Gherkin today, but it's really interesting how like I was able to give it addresses and it pops up buildings that look like, as long as those addresses are publicly listed, right? It's really interesting how you can just like pull up places like that. So if it has a recognized name, that's good, but you can also just put in their address and get something. Now, keep in mind, your Midjourney prompts are all public in the sense that any other Midjourney user can see them on your profile and stuff. So you need to unpublish them if you have the pro account. Or I think I don't know how else to get rid of them, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Don't put any sensitive information in your prompts.
Yeah. Even putting yourself in your prompts, like images of yourself. If you
Yeah.
don't want other people to see you, better don't.
Yeah, unless you have the ability to unpublish images,
Yeah.
if your remix of your own face as an anime character, or whatever you do, ends up on the front page, yeah, your image is on the front page too. It's inside the prompt. So, yeah, just keep that in mind.
Just gonna take this image, zoom out, editor sweater, and see what happens. And it's making it blue again. But we're getting more of the dog. There we have the boat now. So this is I think fulfilling the prompt somehow. Somewhat. Photograph tends to work best instead of live action. Yes, that's true. Live action is always coined towards a specific type of movie, right? It's like
When people describe something as live action, they're describing something that was once animated and is now live action, right?
yes,
So
yes,
it does
exactly.
imply.
It's kind of yeah, it's implied into the word that it has a specific aesthetic. So if you want it real, you don't want it live action, you want it photographic. They call The Lion King as live action. That was entirely CG. Well,
Yeah, I would, yeah, that stuff drove me nuts, honestly. I cannot stand the Disney live actions. I refuse to consume them. They're just I hate the idea of stripping away the art from the original movies. Like, just if you watch the original Lion King, you go, where's the expression on these live action lions' faces? Like, come on. Like, no. It just doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm just old.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
not sure why I'm still getting like all of these.
I did
It's
get.
probably because of the pastel colors and stuff.
I tried to get the gherkin to launch into space like a space shuttle inside of VC Create, right? And it just puts another gherkin on the ground. So I would definitely just in paint the gherkin that's still in the skyline of London. But yeah, no, it is quite silly. The kind of visual overlap that's there, but asking for London skyline and such like that. So I would
Yeah.
certainly in paint one of these. And also, if a rocket launch immediately goes 45 degrees like that, be very scared.
It's yeah, it's coming down.
Yeah, it's not a good time for London.
It's probably not a good time for Spain in this direction, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. Well, guys, it is 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
and this was so much fun. I hope to see you
Yeah.
guys over at the Gnarly Studio server for the show after the show. You could find it
Well, we
linked
will.
to. It, sorry,
I didn't want to interrupt. It's,
you're good. You're
I
good.
can't talk. You talk. I will add something later.
Okay, okay.
Go on.
Just feel free to join the Gnarly Studio server. You can find a link to it inside of VC text. Just scroll on up and you'll find it. There'll probably be one posted by the time we end here too. And it would just be great to have you guys jump on the Gnarly Studio server, submit your characters to the character portal, and just hang out with us in this show after the show. So you could find that on once you join the server, you'll see that there is a voice channel called The Show After the Show. That's where you can hop on in and chat with us after here, and this is also where we play Catan and stuff. So if you like to play games, we'll be doing that regularly as well. But I wanted to quickly show you guys before we head out of here. The character portal itself is a really fun place to submit all sorts of original turnarounds and stuff. Feel free to use either version 6 or version 7. They are categorized, so you can go to fantasy or western or any of that kind of stuff. It's all filtered for you. So if you don't have a character and maybe one of these guys inspire you, you can actually continue their story for them by submitting your results to that character. So if you see here, Blobby, for example, is a very popular slime character on our server made by a troll for you. He's got all sorts of fun little emojis and all sorts of comics that have him centered. Like these are beelining comics. So I made a comic.
God,
Yeah.
we didn't even talk about the April's Fool stuff.
I know. As soon as my comics and stuff, I do have an animation that I made for April Fools, and we definitely did a silly thing on our server for Blobby on April Fools, where everybody on our server became Blobby for April Fools, and we did that by copying the character portal. And I Troll for You and Rhapsody spent all their time on April Fools making blobby version or slime versions of all of our characters. So
I thought we were just getting more beautiful.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah, there's also a Kinky Kong there.
There is Kinky.
Yes.
Yeah, I told them to look at it when we submitted it. So now I'll end on just saying thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been so much fun. I hope to see you over at the Gnarly Studios server to hang out with us more. And also on the update log, we have all sorts of comics and things that people have made. So, be sure to check that out. Check out the server, see what we're doing. And thank you so much for your time today. And just for checking out V7. I'm so stoked. Thank you so much, Rhapsody and Kinky, for joining with us today. And I know you got
Thank you.
Something you want to say there, Rhapsody?
Yes, I got. Put me up. Also, please put me back on stage. It just did things. Yeah, come over to the show after the show. I want to run this multiplayer prompting with you guys there, where you can talk with us. So if you want to see how it works, just see a bunch of people talking and prompting and stuff, we will do that later, definitely 100%. Also, we just scratched the surface of this. V7 has so much to uncover, so many new workflows to use, so many more tricks to uncover, and we want to show you all of this. So make sure to come back next week. And if you find things out or have more questions, you can do all of that on our server too, in the help channel or whatnot. But yeah, this will continue. We will tell you in the next weeks, every week, something new, something
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, and next week we're going to focus on animation. We have a After Effects masterclass tomorrow as well on the server. So if you want to learn how to do animation with your generated images, that's what we're doing there tomorrow. So awesome, guys. Okay, all right. I'll have a great night, and we'll see you on the server. Have fun
Yep,
with
bye.
V7.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.